Welcome back to another Dynodaze video. A Milano Red FN2 with some nice wheels and a bit of a splitter. It's got some other mods, as you can see, aesthetically. I've not really seen one of these before, but it's interesting. It's a bit different, so I like a bit different. Now, this one is here today because at some point in its life, we think it's had a flash map, or the customer certainly thinks it's had a flash map. He's not very happy with it, and he wants some Dynodaze source. So we're going to map this today, see if we can improve on what's already on there. I'd like to think we can, but, you know, we'll have a go. So we'll do a stop power run, see where we're at, and then we'll start tuning on the ecutek software. Here we go, FN2. Well, we've seen this car before on a Dynodaze Honda meet where every last Saturday of the month we have Hondas turn up and we all look at each other's engines and things like that. And it did a power run. After speaking to the customer, I think we realised that it had been mapped before, but it didn't have switchable maps. So it wasn't an ecutek map. So that's something we thought we could improve upon. Now, originally the mandate today was to fit a Piper fit a Piper decat, but when the car turned up and we actually seen what was on the car whilst it was in the air, we realised that it was in fact what looked like a 4-to-1 manifold with a cat welded into it.
Yeah, a sports cat welded into it.
And then some incredibly, I'm sorry to say this, but awful exhaust system.
Yeah, I think basically what's happened here is that obviously it's gone for MOT. It hasn't been able to get through the MOT, and then someone's welded a sports cat into the 4-to-1 and then done it that way. Now, that's not a normal option that we would see, or not one that we would necessarily recommend. We did look at perhaps removing the internals from the cat, but it had a steel core, not a porcelain core, so it wasn't going to work because customer did specifically want pots and pans control quite a long way. We did offer him options. Obviously, we have got 4-to-1 manifolds in stock, and we have got a Tegra 70mm in stock.
But the budget didn't allow.
If he wanted, if he wanted to make some power. But again, obviously discussing with the customer, which is obviously foremost here, communication is key. He hadn't got the budget to do so, so we basically made the decision. So it wasn't a wasted trip for him that would obviously map it.
He wanted to map it, and to be fair, I'm glad he did, because the original map has been improved upon. It looks like it probably was some form of flash map, and we've made some power in the mid-range and a tiny bit of peak power, but realistically it's the modifications that are needed.
I would argue that the peak power is the same. Wheel horsepower's up by about 10. We've made some good mid-range gains, and we've sort of made the same at the top end. But as we've talked about many times before, the reason that will probably be the case is because obviously the modifications are not the best on this car. Obviously having an unknown sports cat or a cheap eBay sports cat in a 4-to-1 manifold, and then coupled with a custom exhaust.
Yeah, that's one way to kill flow.
Yeah, it obviously is not doing
It's got a decent induction kit as well, which is a shame, isn't it? Because it's got a Skunk 2 big bore induction kit, which is absolutely lovely and works a charm. But there is obviously a restriction here in the exhaust, and moving forward, yeah, more modifications will unlock more power.
Yeah, for sure. Should we have a look at that graph?
Let's look at the graph. Okay, so say it with us, lads. Red line is as she came in, blue line is as she leaves. And as you can see, we've opened up the mid-range there with a genuine custom tune. The car will drive significantly better, I have no doubt. But if we want more power, it simply is a question of more mods. Here we go. So we finish on 212. That's 180 at the wheels. And like I say, it has got a decent induction kit on it. So there is definitely worth investing in further modifications to make a much bigger gain at this point. But there we go. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. Tell me what you think to this grille in the video below. And if you've got an FN2 and you need any help, you know where we are. You could even pick up the phone if you wanted and go old school and talk to us. But until then, we'll catch you on the next one, won't we, Rich? We will indeed.
Before, and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast.